What's going on, guys? I'm Matt, and you're watching the RC Jet Shock. Right here in front of us today, we have the Seagull 80-inch Husky. Now, before we get to the flight footage today, we're going to talk about our setup just in case some of you guys missed the previous episode. Under the cowl here, we have a 60 size equivalent electric motor. In fact, I don't remember the numbers, but it's the same motor that's used on the E-flite Draco. We've got a 3-bladed 13 by 8 prop, and we have all high-tech servos across the entire airplane. I'm not sure if y'all remembered in the previous episode, we were having some issues with these flaps, and I'll show y'all a picture of it right here. So what we did was we found out that the actual flap covers themselves, where the servos were mounted, were extremely weak, and every time that you would move the flap manually, they would actually bow on the inside. So, there was a lot of slop and a lot of play. So we bought the ones that we just showed you there off of eBay. They were really, really thick, and they did not move, and they're actually working pretty good. So that's about it for the uniqueness on this setup on this airplane. Pretty straightforward electric conversion. Let's move on to the flight. Now, this first flight that you're going to see was actually the second flight. So, sorry guys, I didn't get the maiden on video, but let me tell you, the maiden went without a hitch, and it was amazing. But maybe it was overconfidence, or maybe I was a little shaky, but the second flight didn't go as well. So, check it out. All right, here we go.
Your head. Where's the airplane? Can't find the airplane.
You have it?
Your butt's in the way.
I'm turning it. You got it now?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
That was funny.
Hey, I think I saved. I think I'm gonna do flaps up.
Now, flops down again.
No. Here we go. You ready?
Yes, you said you would.
No.
Now you have to do it.
Here we go. Take it off.
Whatever. Annoying. You should try flaps. Now we're going that way. Into the tree! You should get the awesome.
Ooh.
To the tree! You should get the awesome.
Ooh.
To the tree!
Ooh. I don't know what's going on now.
That was funny.
She was definitely struggling for power.
Maybe it's the battery is dead and your tester doesn't work.
No.
When this keeps happening, you know there's something wrong.
Yep, and we're done.
Yay!
So yeah, bummer. That sucked. So I'm going to be the first one to tell you right now, because I'm that type of person. That was 100% pilot error, my fault. The first time there, we flew it into the grass. I overcompensated with the rudder, and we went sliding out of control. Luckily, I was able to get it back in one piece. Second flight, not so lucky. Now, because the rudder was so strong on the first flight, this is at least my analysis of what happened. I got it a little bit, I became a little rudder shy, and I just didn't hold it down. Now, you didn't see it in the video because Chicken Girl was distracted because it was going really bad. Actually kind of coming towards us. That once it really got out of control, I tried to yank it off the ground, and this is kind of where the foamies have been kind of a crutch for me, because for example, when I get into trouble with the super timber up there, I just yank it off the ground and it's fine. This one you can't do that. So this one definitely requires a lot more finesse, and you didn't see it in the video initially, but the second I came off the ground, the airplane tip stalled because I yanked it up, and it was a fight. I actually almost ran it into two trees before the video even caught up with it, where you saw the crash at the end. So, like I said, once again, 100% my fault with bad habits I've learned over time, and my overall lack of experience of flying tail wheel airplanes. But so while that being said, afterwards, and I'll show you a series of pictures as we're talking. The repair job wasn't terrible. This airplane was built extremely well, and I was actually very surprised at how little damage there was. Most of our damage, as you can see here, this is when we actually started fixing it with the clamps, was right here where the wing mount is, where this wing took the impact, and it just shattered the mount on the inside. And it wasn't, I say shattered, it's a little dramatic, but it wasn't that bad. It was maybe 3 or 4 pieces, and we were able to get it glued back together. The actual wing tube itself was bent. We were able to bend that back into shape and pop that back in. The only other thing that was broken, you can't, this strut right here, this wing strut was cracked. So you can see in this picture, we were able to, what we did was, it was kind of fun. We glued it, we wrapped the actual strut in plastic, and then we put a clamp on top of it. And man, when we removed that plastic, nothing stuck, and it was there wasn't much excess glue sticking out, so it worked out well, and it's holding. It's pretty strong. So yeah, the repairs weren't bad. And like I said, this thing is built like a tank. I was very impressed with the minimal damage. Now, that being said, I overcompensated on takeoff with a lot of right rudder on that first one because the left pull was so strong. I realized on this model I did not set any thrust angle. There was no down, there was no right. So I thought, okay, let's go ahead and fix that. So as you can see in this picture, we fixed it. And what we did was we went ahead and put washers on the actual, on the engine mount. So what we did was we put 4 washers on the top left corner, and then on the bottom left corner, we put 3 washers. So you have a little down, a little right, and then the top right, we just put 2 washers. So that way it was still wanting to kick down. So it was down to the right. So we did that, and also in the radio setup on this before the next flight, we went ahead and put 50% expo to dampen down that rudder. So now that we've done all those changes, it's time to see what happens on the next flight. So check it out. This might take a couple of tries. Nope. I mean, not the best, but we're airborne, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to get used to this rudder thing. Okay, I'm gonna set it up. Let me kick that rudder around. There we go. I'm gonna set this up for a low pass so we can get some pretty shots. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of rudder, guys. Trying to get used to that. I've been flying EDFs and trike planes for a really long time. What's that?
Dog.
By yourself?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we come.
Come here, Winnie.
you get any of those passes real good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do one more and then I'm gonna do some high work for a little
Winnie,
while.
get out of the runway.
Winnie, move.
Come here, Winnie.
Alright, here we come. I'll stay high. We gotta clear the dog.
Winnie.
Alright, today we're gonna test flaps. So we've already tested flaps 1, pretty docile. But what I haven't done was flaps 2 yet. A little nervous about that one. So let's try it. Besides acting as expected, bunch of nose up. Gotta go back to flaps 2. Probably not brave enough to land with flaps 2 yet, but at least I know they work. Alright, let's do another pass here.
Dog out of the way.
Yeah.
She's right next to you.
This is a flap 1 pass.
She moved. Again. There's you.
Is that a rainbow in the sky over there?
I can't see. I'm trying to video.
Alright, I've got 1 dot, or 1 beep. I'm gonna do a little bit of high work here.
What are my fingers?
What's that?
Nothing. Airplane looks like a bird.
Yeah, no, I'm keeping it kind of high still.
A black bird.
Not quite comfortable yet, but we're getting there.
Now it looks like an airplane.
You see, it just takes a lot of rudder to get this thing to come around. But that's okay. I need to learn rudder, you know? It's an essential skill that I was not taught early on. Alright, bringing her in for landing.
Which way are you landing?
From the normal side.
Going that way?
I'm setting up now. Setting up from Steve's land.
Huh? Winnie! I get ran over, dog.
She's stupid. Go around.
And that looks perfect.
I know.
That dog.
That dog.
She didn't even care that she was gonna get ran over.
Is she out of the way now?
Yep, she's in the woods.
Alright. So now we got the dog out of the way.
And she's coming back. Ah!
What?
Thing!
Don't worry about it. Okay, I'm landing.
Oh, things is coming.
Alright guys, that'll do it. That was a good flight. 1 up, 1 down. Can't beat that. I hope y'all enjoyed this. This was kind of a shit show nonetheless with all the animals wanting to be curious this morning. Please give Beluga Girl some love. Alright guys, that was so much better. A couple of takeaways from it. First of all, I am still freaking rudder shy. Yep. As you can see, the airplane did still veer to the left, but I had a lot more control. So I think on this next flight, I'm going to go ahead and bring down the rate now. So we have the Expo at 50. I'm going to bring down the rate and try that out and see what happens. Luckily, I was able to not have to over control because on our runway, I went ahead and built a cheater runway. So just in case, you know, we have a hard left pull, there's still plenty of runway room for these airplanes to take off. But as I get used to this airplane, I'm definitely going to start incorporating my rudder skills. And, you know, a big takeaway about this airplane, not just on the ground, in the air, she needs a lot of rudder correction in the turns, which is something, you know, really, my first airplane was a Superstar 40, and it had a nose gear. And almost every airplane that I've flown, for a majority of my RC career has been nose wheel airplanes. So I'm basically a novice learning rudder all over again. Actually, not all over again, rudder for the first time. And really, it's helping with my flying skills, and the airplanes are looking better for it. And I'm catching on pretty quick, and it's been pretty fun. Now, let's shift over from investigation mode to let's talk about how this airplane flies. Now, I was very impressed with this airplane. She flies heavy, which is something I prefer. I don't like a floater with, you know, I like a no-nonsense, good stick landing every time. And this airplane delivers with that. In flight, she is a little underpowered in really takeoff and go arounds, as you saw in the go around on there. Very underpowered. That's just my engine choice, I believe. It could be the prop. So, guys, I want to hear from y'all in the comments what y'all would recommend. The reason I chose a smaller engine, now the book says to go with a 90 size motor. I went with the 60 size motor, hoping that maybe the weight loss with the battery would compensate for power loss. And I mean, it flies very scale. So, you know, maybe I get used to it and we just keep it this way. Or maybe we go with the larger prop for more climb performance. Like I said, leave it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think, what y'all would recommend. I think this motor can take up to I believe a 15 by 3 by 8. So yeah, just so I mean, we could go up that high if we want. Undecided yet, but let me know in the comments for sure. This is working, and it looks very scale, and you know, it's a Cub, or it's a Husky, so I mean, I'm not really interested in flying supersonic speeds, but maybe a little bit more power to get myself out of trouble for sure. But landings, as I was getting ahead of myself there, landings, this airplane is freaking amazing. Like I was saying, no nonsense, no float. I haven't tried full flaps yet. I'm a little nervous, but as you saw, we did activate them in flight. Everything was fine. There is definitely a balloon factor to it, and that may be good. So once I get more used to the airplane, because like I said, this one makes me nervous, and but I like it. I like it a lot. But once again, flaps on the takeoff setting, as we would say in the jet world, mid flaps, it did great. And I'm not unhappy with its landing performance or roll performance at all. So, I mean, like I always say, why mess with the good thing? But overall, it's a wonderful airplane. She's well built, takes a beating. Enjoyed flying her. I look forward to flying her more for you guys in the future. That's going to do it for this episode this week. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me. We'll see you next time. Bye.